most people know about the difference between what is real and what isn't. However, virtual reality or digital reality overall attempts to defy that. So basically, changing reality and overall what we're led to believe is real. Um, and with this, now you're starting to see a lot of companies such as Toyota, Apple, Adidas, etc., followed by gaming companies that are starting to implement these types of experiences into everyday living. So once again, these are three bigger corporations that one could see implementing augmented or virtual reality into, and they have already, and we'll get into that as well. First, I want to start off with gaming companies that have implemented this type of technology into their experiences. We have Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo. So Nintendo or Sony first started off with this through a product known as the PlayStation VR, and it's the VR headset. I'm pretty sure most of you guys have seen it. If not, there's a photo right there of it. But it is basically this. This headset that goes onto your head, and you're interacting with the digital world in the physical world, basically. You're not looking at a TV necessarily or playing with the controller. It is more interactive. So, this product did sell for $299 at retail price, and over the course of its lifetime, Sony released their sales update on the product, and in the beginning of 2020, from its initial release date back in October 2016, it did release roughly 5 million copies. Now that's arguable whether you want to say it's good or bad. However, I would like to say that I think it is actually a great sale, because this is a $299 product that's an add-on to a already $399 retail price console, which is the PlayStation 4. Next is Microsoft. So Microsoft did attempt to do something similar with it. However, theirs was more focused on, it could be used as gaming, hypothetically, but it was more focused on having someone interact with digital holograms in the physical world. So basically, it could be seen something as more for workplace. As more companies are becoming more advanced, this type of technology could be necessary. So while it could be arguable who it's marketed for, I think that was where it really started to go downhill, because this product didn't sell as well. And a major reason for that is it was retailed at starting price at $3,500, which a lot of people can't afford that. Now, I know there was a plan, like a monthly plan where you would pay over time, but it depended on how many you bought. So that leads a lot of people to believe that it was probably marketed more for large corporations or companies that wanted to implement this new technology into their practices. Now, next we have Nintendo. So, hold on, turn the focus on. There we go. Okay, sorry about that. Next we have Nintendo. Now, Nintendo, it's arguable whether they succeeded with their kind of form of digital reality. What they did do initially was they didn't use AR or VR technology. They instead used NFC, which is near field communication. So near field communication, just a little backstory on it. It's a little chip that's in most phones and credit and debit cards. It's used to make transactions contactless. It's used to wirelessly charge your phone, stuff like that, small things like that. But Nintendo decided to use it as a type of I guess you could say virtual reality or digital technology. And I guess one could say they kind of cheated a bit on this one, because they did use pre-existing popular gaming characters. You have Link right here. I don't know if you guys can see that. And then you have Super Mario. You have Final Fantasy. So you have popular games such as this that were made into figures to sell the product initially. So basically, these figures were add-ons to games similar to Sony's, but less intuitive. It just added bonus content, things like that. So it the like in reality, it's actually a really good idea, but on paper it might not sound very well. But it did have a good turnout because from its initial release back in 2014 of November up until October of 2018, they did sell over 5 million figures worldwide. So that's a pretty good success, I would say. And not only that, but they are still continuing. They still have produced figures up until 2020, and they're still producing new ones. So it's still going pretty strong. It's still succeeding, obviously. So that's good. So I know I've talked about gaming in terms of digital reality, but I haven't really necessarily talked about the potential. But I just thought it was necessary to do so because gaming is really where digital reality had become popular. It's really where it started and it reached the mainstream media where people can have a hands-on experience, and not only that, but see the more fun and interactive components of the products that companies can offer. So in the workplace, the first part I would like to start with is architecture. So with architecture, there's a lot of floor plans you have to do. You have to make physical models. You have to have some type of visual representation of your ideas, of what you're trying to convey to others. So, obviously with something such as digital reality, it's a lot more interactive and interesting to do so through that. Now there is this app called, on the App Store and Google Play, I believe, it's called Arki, or A-R-Key, however you want to pronounce it. It's a capital A, capital R, and then K-I. Anyway, this app basically allows you to display any 3D models that you've created anywhere. So also you can modify or fix little things on the model. So for example, right here you have this picture. They made a 3D model and they're displaying it in front of trees. Or they have a 3D model right here, you're displaying it on a table. So basically, you don't necessarily have to have a physical model there. You can instead show it through a projector, like that. So for example, you could make a model at your home on your computer, right? And then let's say tomorrow, the next day at the meeting, you like to show it off. So you show it off through your phone on a projector. It's like that. You don't have to have a physical model there to show it off. You can show it digitally, and it rotates and everything, view it at all angles. And this app specifically actually won an award for being one of the most used app tools for architects and interior designers and people like that in that profession. Now next, I want to talk about Toyota because I did bring up Toyota and Adidas back in the beginning. So for Toyota, they recently, in 2019, I believe, they released an app where for specific models of their cars, you can digitally display anywhere. So basically right here this is the one in blue is the digital model of the car. And right here, you can display it anywhere you want. You see this one, this person displayed in the living room. And then this one is just showing how it will look like through the tablet or phone or wherever they're using it. But nonetheless, it's an idea that I believe is pretty creative because it's completely contactless. It's an app that you have. If there's a car model that you're interested in, you don't have to go into the dealership. You can just find the model that you're looking for on the app. It's scanned and you display it anywhere. And not only this, but it also, for example, allows you to have others input on it. So you can take a photo, um, send pictures to friends and family, ask them what they think, how they think the style of the car looks like, things like that. So a lot of things that you typically wouldn't do at a car dealership. Like you wouldn't bring your friends and family to a car dealership. So it's a pretty good idea. A little basic, one can say, but nonetheless, it's still pretty good. It's better than nothing. Next is Adidas. This is it's a more, yeah, it's also one of more of like a basic one, but I think it's a pretty good idea because it doesn't need to be any more really advanced than it is. Um, and this is from the app. They also created an app where you can try on their shoes, but using AR technology. So basically, well, it's completely contactless as well. So you don't have to go into the store to do this or anything. It's if you have a smartphone, you can do it. So you download the app, you select the shoes that you're looking for, and you scan them. So right here, maybe you're looking at the Adidas right here, and then you have it on your phone. And then this one, believe it or not, is an AR projection of the shoe onto their feet. So they're not actually wearing those shoes. And it actually does look pretty clean. It looks pretty crisp in my opinion. So it's not like it's chintz type of projection onto your foot. It is pretty good quality. And I think that is a good start for companies like this as to what they can do with their products in terms of creating popularity and awareness for newer products. So basically, what does this mean for digital reality overall? Obviously, it is still in its beginning stages. We haven't seen something to where you don't have to wear the headset. It's not completely advanced, like you may have seen in movies. So it is still in its beginning stages. However, it is also important to note that it is becoming popular. Like I said with Sony, they managed to sell 5 million of a VR headset that was retailed for $300. You have near field communication, you have virtual reality, you have augmented reality, you have all these types of digital reality that are starting to become more popular and are starting to become implemented in video games. You have them implemented with clothing brands, with motor vehicle brands. So it's starting to pop up everywhere. And with that, there's going to be more companies that are going to be competing and saying, what can I do to make my product more profitable off the market by implementing this type of technology? So definitely do expect more advancements and more expanding on the ideas of what you're seeing now or what you saw now, because it will most likely become a lot more interactive and a lot more interesting. And who knows, you might, depending on your profession, you might even be using it often in your workplace. So that's pretty interesting. I also think that's pretty exciting because, we're finally starting to use technology for a greater purpose, such as, architecture, interior design, things like that, motor vehicles. So it's a really good thing that what digital reality has done and what it will continue to do.